What up, y'all? It's your boy back again, and it's another 10 things. These are 10 things that I learned being a military brat. So, if you don't know, I've been a military brat my whole life. Like my parents, my dad's in the military. We've moved around plenty different places. That's why I'm at where I currently live. But I just want to share with y'all 10 things that I learned being a military brat. Now, number one, it gave me the ability to adapt to your environment and learn it. So I've lived so many places, a lot of places in the South, some higher up north, stuff like that. But and then in state and out of state. But with every place, I had to kind of learn how to move and stuff like that. At the end of the day, of course, still be myself and stuff. But I had to learn the area, the environment, stuff like that. So it was it happened so many times. I got to be a part of a lot of different cultures. So even for myself, growing up in these different environments, the way I talk and my lingo I kind of grabbed from different areas and stuff like that. So it I learned how kind of to adapt with all those moves and stuff like that. Whether it is I'm living in a more hot place, I'm living in a more cold place, stuff like that. It being a military brat helped me to maneuver in different environments and stuff like that. So number two, new place, new you, learn yourself and be yourself. So with every move, to an extent, there is a level of growth that you could have. Only in that, okay, if I didn't like the way I moved the last place, in this new place I can move better. I can move And technically, every place I moved, I was always like trying to be the fun. I wouldn't even say trying to be the funny guy. I was always the dude that was joke, clown, blah blah blah, stuff like that. But in every like new place, it was kind of like an opportunity to start over because when you move, it's not like you move everybody who was in the old place with you, stuff like that. So every time I moved, and I had a plaque that had like all the places that I moved. Every time I moved, it was an opportunity to kind of reinvent yourself and stuff like that. I definitely enjoyed that, but even in I would say being new again and stuff like that, it helped me to learn myself and help me to be myself in every environment. So like even though I would move new places and I would get a new start, 9 times out of 10 I always move what was most comfortable for myself. So I understand and started learning, okay, I like doing this, I like being this type of person. If I wanted to try this fashion, I like to try this fashion or blah 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 this and stuff. So it's like it gave me opportunities to be myself in new environments all the time, and that's something that I definitely enjoyed to an extent. At one point, I definitely really didn't like moving, but a new place, new environment, you get to kind of start over from scratch. But it was all part of the adventure. Now, number three, acquire the ability to make friends. So, being so many places and stuff like that, I personally grew up and became a more social person, but it helped me and even my siblings learn how to make friends kind of like, I wouldn't even say quickly, but learn how to be friendly with people, stuff like that. Don't treat everybody like this random stranger and then be off to the corner like by yourself. Like being a military brat is kind of like, especially if you're around other military people, you kind of make friends quickly just because okay, well, if I might only have this school year with this person or that, stuff like that. So you kind of learn how to make friends fast. So even when I got out of the environment of just being with military kids, it kind of made it easier for me to open up or talk to people and stuff like that because I'm so used to being friendly and stuff like that, or knowing that, okay, being that I'm the new kid here, let me kind of be friendly and stuff like that so that I can get within or make friends with the people who are here and stuff like that. So that was a skill that I would say me and even my siblings kind of gained, just being able to open up and talk to people like that, to make friends because it was out of necessity. You had to be friendly and learn how to be friendly out of necessity. So yeah, that was number three. Number four, not everybody is your friend or stays your friend. So it's like, especially with moving, when we were younger, like I would say I have very few just solid friends. You feel me? From when I was so young and stuff like that. As like I became a teenager and was in high school and stuff like that, I still keep in contact with my friends and stuff like that from high school, like the ones that I'm still cool with and stuff, and the ones that still be hitting me up and talking to me. But like it's like you understand that okay, sometimes like everybody who's around you in your vicinity, like you kind of see and acquire and understand. Okay, me and this person not that close. We don't if we don't hang out outside of this place, but we hang out in school. That's cool. But I wouldn't really say that you like we like that tight. You feel me? We that close knit or nothing like that. So everybody, especially after you move. If I had no cell phone or blah blah blah, and we used to kick it in kindergarten, like if you can remember me from kindergarten, that's fire because I got my kindergarten up, my kindergarten yearbook, but still, everybody didn't. It just didn't stay as solid because, of course, especially when you're young, you ain't got no. I ain't had no cell phone until I was a teenager, but it's like everybody doesn't stay your friend, and everybody's not even going to be your friend. Like you could try, you feel me, but still, everybody's not going to be your friend. So, number 5, it's important to make where you are home. So it's like it always helped that my mother always made an environment for it to be home for us, so it was never like like you would miss the old places, but being that you had like that close knit, like especially I'm glad I have my close knit family that when we moved we all kind of moved together and we were close with each other, so we enjoyed each other. There was always homemade for us. So like as soon as you come home, it's mom, it's dad, it's your siblings, we all together. Even before you have friends like that, at the moment, it was still always a level of we always kept it like, okay, this is now our new home. How do we make it home? Stuff like that. And they always push me to hey, put up posters of stuff you like, get comfortable, because nine times like being a military brat, it's usually like for us at least 3 years. We in a place for 3 years, and then it's time to go. Now, I think it's been maybe like one place that I think was my longest move, but that was because okay, my family was there for 3 years. They left, and then like it was me and my brother, and we were still there, and then we were living with our cousin at the time. So like that's the longest place I've ever been. I think that was like 6 years. Then the place I'm at now, it was supposed to be like a 2 year thing, right? But I think it's been longer. It's been longer, and I think it's going to be longer. But those are like the two longest places I've ever been. You feel me? Other than that, it's been like 3 years. So, but we've always figured out or found a way to make it home amongst us. You feel me? We find a church home that we enjoy, stuff like that. We, of course, go to school. Well, at the time we were going to school, so then school being that big part of our life, we kind of made it, stuff. It's important to make the place that you're at, even if it's just for 3 years, you feel me, get comfortable, but like get comfortable and make that your home. Like luckily that's what I think me and my family kind of learned quickly, especially me. I don't personally like moving or being outside of a place of home for too long. So like usually as soon as we get to the spot, I'm emptying my boxes and I'm making myself comfortable. That's something that I personally learned and do to make myself comfortable or feel more at home. And that was number 5. Now, number 6, this too shall pass. Reminisce but move forward when needed. So, especially as a military brat and me living with my parents, you feel me, and my parents moving and stuff like that, you kind of also have to know that okay, this is also not forever. So if you're going through something and it's hard and it's stressful and all that other stuff, I always had to keep the mindset of okay, this too shall pass, only because my parents are still in the military. My dad's still in the military, so we're gonna move at some point. So if I'm in an environment that's not the greatest or doesn't feel like the greatest or I'm not enjoying, after a while I'm not gonna really have to stress about it because I'm likely going to leave, or something like that. So I always try to gauge and have a good time where I'm at, but at the same time, if there's issues and stuff amongst where I'm at, it's not like I'm tied down to being in that spot forever, you know. So it's like after a while, I'm gonna be able to leave. You feel me? Or I can leave, you know. So that's kind of helped me now with being in certain environments that like, if I'm not enjoying it or stuff like that, I know that I have the ability to go somewhere else. So that's something that I personally learned, and now that I honestly use it, so that in the future, hey, if I don't like this neighborhood, I don't like this blah blah blah, and I can afford to leave, then I can leave. You feel me? I don't feel tied down to any place like that. You know, I got certain places like I got family and stuff like that, so I can end up or go to. You feel me? But I don't got to stay nowhere that I don't think is beneficial for me. You know, that was number six. Now, number seven, it kind of ties really closely to five, but is people come in your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. So it's like there's those three different aspects of like people coming in your life. I learned at like I would say like a pretty young age, only because like a lot of times like I'll if I was in school, it'll be a season. If I have a friend, it'll be for a certain season, and sometimes you just don't stay connected like that. Now that it's Facebook and Instagram, all that, back in the day, they ain't had it. I say that like I'm old, but I ain't old really. But back in the day, they didn't have that. So it's like, okay, you're only here for a season. We was best friends for this season. We were really close. Cool, you feel me? Now, yeah, we split up because, of course, I ain't had no cell phone. I had no social media. You can find them later on, but back then you wasn't really thinking about that. So that's the seasonal reason. Sometimes I literally be in school and there will be a person who would be there and either they'd be bullied, they'd be doing extra stuff, or like just doing stuff I'm not really messing with. You feel me? But it's usually a reason that helped me grow in that. You feel me? I used to get picked on and stuff in school a little bit. Nothing crazy. Like they never really try to tussle. It was more like they just chatter. You feel me? But a lot of those situations that I got in or were in was because it was like there's a purpose attached to it. You feel me? I, I I don't know if I probably speak about this in another video, but me being chubby and all that other stuff, like it kind of grew me and stuff like that. Also through those little situations of people picking on me and stuff like that, and having environments where people pick on you and blah 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 stuff like that. It made me good at doing blah blah blah. Let me be wit. Let me be witty. Let me be quick. Let me be quick to do the dozens and all that. I try my best not to pick on nobody too hard because I personally ain't like it when I was young. But now I have that skill because this environment that I was in. You know, so that's the reason aspect. And now for a lifetime, I would say I have some people in my life that I could say like, okay, we're gonna be lifetime friends. You feel me? Like I can still hit them up and be like, hey, how you been? Blah blah blah. Check up on you. Or I can they can hit me up and then they can be like, hey, how you been? Blah blah blah. I feel like I have a few people like that. It's less likely just because I'm in people's lives for such a short time, right? But like if that time was meaningful to me and hopefully to them, then I would say, yeah, I got a few people who I have for a lifetime. And at the same time, with that said, I think me moving, this might be even a bonus one, like a bonus thing. It made it better for it made me and my family closer together because when we are going through the trenches of moving, not having nobody to help, not having people really close to us like friends or anything like that, it helped us to be together because sometimes it's like my siblings are my only friend. You feel me? So it's like being that they my only friend, I'm hanging out with my brother. I'm hanging out with my sisters, stuff like that. So it's like it brought us closer together because we're constantly changing environments. You know, there's even there's a book I forgot what it's called. I had a homie tell me it out here where it describes or it talks about like kids who are raised outside of their own personal culture and adopt other cultures. You feel me? Me being in the military, I've seen so much of that. You feel me? So it's like I've seen black kids who weren't raised in the black community, or I've seen white kids who were raised in the black community and stuff like that. So they're kind of way even like British kids who was raised in like the American culture. You feel me? And stuff like that. So I've seen a lot of that being able to move around all the time. Number eight, make memories. They're needed, good and bad. They grow you. So like it's good to have memories. You feel me? From all these places, like anywhere. If I can think far enough back, I had a memory from it. You feel me? So like, and it's stuff that I enjoyed, like memories that I enjoyed, stuff like that. Even memories that were kind of tough. You feel me at one point, but now looking back on it, some of that stuff needed to happen, but having those memories and all those experiences helped your boy and grew your boy. You feel me? And it allowed me to be, I would say, like somewhat more cultured. You feel me? To an extent. I'm not saying I'm super cultured and blah blah, drink tea and all of that, but I got to see and experience other people's culture and see how vast the world is to an extent. You know that I know. I feel like other people weren't fortunate enough to have. You know. But that's another thing that the military like. There's benefits to it, but there's some L's. Not gonna lie, there's some L's, but there's benefits to it too. You know. Number nine, always make time to slow down, especially like in like having the military lifestyle. It feels like you're moving all the time, you're doing stuff all the time, and a lot of times you do. You're moving a lot, you're doing stuff a lot, you're in a new place, stuff like that. But sometimes it's important to like take time and then just look at the scenery or look at your environment or go for walks and stuff like that. That's stuff that I try to personally do so I can get comfortable with where I'm at. You feel me? Again, it's like making it a home. Sometimes you gotta sit back, look at your environment, and just slow down sometimes, because the military life can definitely be, it can definitely feel like a rushing thing, especially like, especially you got to think 3 years goes by pretty fast. You feel me? You can't, you really just getting your feet wet when you really just been someplace 3 years. But like it's like you got to slow down, enjoy the environment, learn the space that you're at, so that you can also make it a home. But it's important to slow down just so that your life not feeling like it's hectic and always moving. You know, I remember at one point when I was young, I did not know, and this is before I was driving, but I didn't really know how to get around right too often because I wouldn't go nowhere other than like by the school, my parents driving me, stuff like that, right? And then like I wouldn't even try to remember like phone numbers that are in the house or like addresses that we used to live at. You feel me? Just because I'm like, well, if we only gonna be here for 1 year or we're only gonna be here for 2 years, why am I learning stuff if it's gonna change when we leave? You know. But that's not part of slowing down. That's kind of me being quick to leave, and that's also not making a place home. Now I do it more often. I learn the address. I learn the phone number. Other than in Germany, I try to learn my German number, but man, that Jimmy long. But it's important to slow down, take those things in, and allow it to become your home. You feel me? Don't be so ready to dip out. You know, especially after I started driving. I kind of feel after I started driving, I kind of allowed that and learned where I was at. You know, learn where I was at. Oh, if you go down here, then blah blah blah, roll up there, and then da 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 da. I started learning my environment and getting comfortable. You feel me? But at the same time, not so comfortable that if this environment isn't doing well or helping me, that I can't still leave. You feel me? At the end of the day, I'm prepared to leave if this environment isn't being beneficial for me. You know. Now, number 10, the last one. Learn other cultures and share your own. With all these places that I've been, you feel me? Especially the stuff that I gained and garnered from being living in the black community, living out the black community, like being amongst my family and stuff and traditions that we have and stuff like that. I always was open to share my experiences with these people. You feel me? Because they don't get it. They don't understand or have the same experiences because they're outside of the culture and they outside of what's going on. So it's like I'm always open to share like stuff I've been through, stuff like I've seen, being in the places that I've been. You feel me? And I'm also open to understanding other people's cultures. Like especially right now, being where we at in Germany, it's like it's it's opened my eyes up to even the people who are in the states who don't speak English. Because if you don't speak German out here, you catching like L's. Like it's gonna be hard to function. You feel me? I can function decently, because me and my family learn German and are trying to learn German, but it's definitely not easy. So now I have a better understanding of those people in the states who don't understand that people be saying, "Oh, speak English," da da da, which is it's hard to hear them say, "Oh, I speak German," and you like, "Bro, I can't." You feel me? I have a better understanding of even those people from my own personal culture that goes through that and hears that stuff every day. So it's like it's huge to me as a military brat to have and share culture with people. You feel me? And give them a little bit of understanding where I come from. I like to understand where they come from and stuff like that. So just been 10 things that I learned being a military brat. I'm still technically one now for a little bit longer. But I hope you enjoy this. I hope this opened your eyes up to military brats a little bit. And till next time, hope you enjoyed it. All right, y'all. See you.